Okay, so at some places it is clear, at some places it's not clear. Oh, when are you guys going to get your internet fixed up? What's the MB speed at in the university? What is the total overall Mbps that we have, Tana? Maybe is it because people are downloading the 50 plus 6 has been dedicated for our class, right? So 6 Mbps. Uh, what do we do about this? Because normally what we were doing is that okay, if either we, because the reason for using TeamViewer was that we would just have one screen, so there was no screen data that is getting shared, just the chat and the voice that was going to everyone, right? But now we have screen for everyone, and therefore the consumption of data on your end will be a little higher. I don't know how you guys can take care of that, by the way. Mm, okay, so how's it? Is the voice better or is it still cracking? You guys are all in class, is it? Sheetal and Sarvani. Uh, 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 how many of you are you're in the hostel, Dipti? You are in class, Lavita. Okay, so not cracking now. Okay, so I'll just go ahead. I guess because some of you would have been downloading the. Can you quickly raise your hands in case you have been able to download the Project One data? Please, there's a feature called raise the hand. All right. So just please raise it so I will know that you have downloaded the data. Uh, I don't know why it goes away. So I see Dipti, Tana, Lavita, Debashri. Okay. Uh, Who else has been able to download it? Only three of you. The remaining are downloading. If you're downloading, are you? If you're in the middle of downloading, please type that according to me. I mean, just type it out that you're downloading the data yet. Tena, is it possible that, for example, this file is 20 MB, right? Do you guys have a LAN which makes it faster? So we download it into LAN, and then uh, everyone just copies it from the LAN. Would that be possible? And maybe if I could help with that, in the sense that I download it for you guys on your LAN, okay, or some ID which is directly connected to LAN, and then you guys just pick it up from there. Okay, Nandana, you're downloading. Chandramouli, you're downloading. Okay, who else is downloading? Uh, okay, Tana, let's do it. Because every day, suppose we have to share some stuff, it'll become much slower for everyone, right? Okay, maybe just do it, no, quickly, so some of them can pick it up from LAN. You just copy it into some shared area. Pratik, Salman, have you downloaded the file? Okay, Abhishek is downloading. Shachi, you downloaded? Vaibhav? Okay, all right. So while the file is getting downloaded, I'll just repeat. All right. So lowering the hands for all of you. Uh, can you share the IP with everyone? Uh, uh, how do I share that, Tana? What do I need to do for that? Tana says, by the way, because you guys can't read others' messages, I will read it out when it is relevant for everyone, right? Tana said, asked me to share an IP address, but I don't know how to share it. So, some of, uh, so now how do I share it, Tana? So, please guide. Okay. So you're mailing me how to share it. All right. So we'll take care of that. Okay. So in the meantime, um, please copy and paste the address where? Okay, where do you want no, Vaibhav? You want me to copy and paste the address to where? So I have, will it be okay? Chandramouli has also downloaded. I can mail it to the Google group. Oh, okay. Acha, this is what you wanted me to do. When you said share, you just wanted it to spread it out to the rest of the people. Here, I have put it in chat. You just wanted me to share the link. I got your point, Tena. I was considering, I mean, maybe I had to do some kind of, privacy settings I need to change. Okay, so you got it from the chat, right? So you guys can download the file from there. Okay, so okay, so little bit what we will do is even yesterday's class and day for yesterday's class. I guess though this is better. How many of you think this is better the webinar tool rather than other things that we are using as a combination? You prefer this or you prefer the older one? The disadvantage or rather a different feature in this is that you can't see each other's chat. Yeah, so but I guess that way it's the advantage I see is that you're more focused on what you're doing rather than what others are saying, right? If there is anyways something relevant, then I'll share it with everyone, right? So so Sheetal said this is better. um Deepti says this is better. Okay. I guess the biggest advantage, this one is good. Chat we can do somewhere else. Oh, yeah, exactly. Yeah, if at all we need to, right? So, but I think this keeps you more focused. Yeah. So yeah, we can do something like that if we need to. But even in this, actually we don't need to because uh, I mean this is working out fine. Only thing that I need is maybe some more response from your side. Uh, for example, now if I'm going step by step, for example, once you've downloaded the file, if I say have you read the table, have you executed the read.table command, right? uh, then I should get some response at least, right? Except the chat feature, this is better, right? Yeah, yeah. Even I'm preferring it. I think they've changed some features here, and uh, moreover, the advantages functions str, right? So I was wondering, if there's something called, let's just str tab 5 rows. Perfect. Thank you, Lavita. So the function that is there is str. So I just, okay, so before I come to that, let's completely focus on the read.table file, right? Read.table command. Can you please answer this question for me? How many of you have downloaded? If you have downloaded, please raise your hand. If you have not downloaded, just type uh, downloading or just something on the chat. All right, otherwise you just raise your hand. Okay, Dipankar, Dipti, Tena, Nandana, all of them have downloaded. Chandramouli has downloaded. Abhishek, Anmol, and uh, internet is super slow. Lavita, Pratik, download the household. Yeah, exactly. That's what I wanted. Uh, but you're not able to raise the hand, Sheetal. Some issues with that. What I'm saying is let's get more used to this raising hand feature in this. It's a little limited compared to Adobe Connect, but once we get used to it, we'll kind of manage, right? How's it? I'm sure there must be some shortcut. Vaibhav, find out the shortcut and tell it to everyone. Acha, I just saw it now. Yeah, uh, there's a shortcut for raising the hand and then lowering it, and class can quickly just, you know, uh, do that. Okay, Vaibhav. Okay, so for web it has not yet got downloaded. But what about the link that Tena gave you guys, right? So from there you could just quickly drag and drop. Hasn't that worked for you instead of downloading it on your own? Those Supreet, uh, have you downloaded the file, or rather just copy it from the link that Tana gave? 172.16.14.194 colon 8000. Okay. Are you downloading directly from the net, Supreet, or are you downloading from the link that Tana gave? Okay, Tana is still uploading it. I see. Okay, okay. Uh, all right. Uh, so what we'll do is, while it is getting downloaded, let me just move to then the code one. Okay, so we'll come back to the project part. Huh? Uh, or in the meantime, let's just quickly look at the questions. So fine, this is your data. Now this data has 2 million rows. Okay, so you're going to play with huge amount of data. Huh? So first we need to calculate a rough estimate of how much memory the data will require in the memory before reading into R. Okay, so this is important. So make sure your computer has enough memory, he says. All right, so let's just do a rough calculation. So if it has 2 million rows, okay, and so 2m, okay, and then 9 columns, okay, so that is a 18m straight away, right? So 18m into uh, as such, the data file itself is 133 MB, right? So I guess if we keep that also as a benchmark, saying that okay, if the data file as such on the computer is 133 MB, maybe it might require that kind of amount of data, right? So 18M here straight away into, let's say some 8 bytes per data column, right? So, and that should, because everything is numeric, right? Somewhere around that, maybe 100 MB of RAM. By the way, understand the concept here. Our R uses RAM, right? So you will need to be having enough RAM. So this is the amount of data that you will be using. So we will be only using data. Now he says that we are going to use data only for from the dates 2007-02-01 to 2007-02-02, which is only two dates of the month are going to get used for this. So one alternate is that you read the data from just these dates rather than reading the entire data set. That's also possible. Okay, and how do you do that? Again, I think MySQL, you don't need to download anything. There's just a R file uh, which we can use. Okay, uh, but we will not bother about that. How many of you would have issue? Do you think you will have issues with RAM? I mean, your machine has at least 1 GB RAM. Anyone who has, oh, there's no keyboard shortcut. Okay, all right. So any of your machines having less than 1 GB RAM? Anyone? So everyone's machine has enough RAM, is it? Uh, I guess since nobody has responded, that means everyone's machine has enough RAM. So this will not be a problem. So I will show you how to do this also, which is like, just downloading some part of the data instead of everything. What I found is, a lot of learning happens when you look at other people's code as well. So when I finished this course, so I did the peer review. So there was this one guy who had done it very, very neatly. So I had, and I hope his code is still available to me. I had kind of marked everything. Okay. Uh, let's just see this. So I will share even these people's code as well to you guys. Okay. So that, wait, I guess he's reading the whole of the data. No, yeah, he's reading the whole data. Then let's see if somebody else is doing something better here. Uh, oh, you're not able to hear me, Sarvani? Anyone else who's able to hear me? People who are sitting in the hostel, are you guys able to hear me? Okay. So, so how do we take care of this net thing? Uh, you know, Anmol, you can't hear me. Chandramali, you can hear, which means people in the hostel are able to hear, and people in the classroom looks like may not are not able to hear. Is that so? Um, uh, if you are able to hear me, please raise your hand. If you are not able to hear me, anyways, uh, uh, or if it is voice is cracking, then you, yeah, many people. That is true. Uh, so then, what is the way out? Last 1 minute, this problem is happening. You can't hear at all. Okay. Uh, mm, how about me? If I call up, we should try giving LAN wire to some people. My voice keeps fluctuating. Uh, uh, yes. So correct, Debashri. In future, what we should maybe access point is on its peak. Tena, can we do something about it? I don't know. With 50 MB, I don't know what more you can do. Hopefully, I should have 100 MB. Why don't you get this Tata connection? Is Tata not available there? Tata is giving broadband, which is 100 Mbps. So just about 4,500 bucks a month, you'll get 200 GB data. So few of you can pool in and share, something like that. Okay, so once we have the LAN wires, then they'll be faster, no? Tana, everyone? This let's do it today, Tana, huh? So that when we have the next class, we should not be facing this problem. Because if the only thing that passes on to you guys is my voice, and if that is not clear, then we can't move ahead with the class. So only Nandana, Shachi, and Tanna, and maybe Dipankar are able to hear me clearly. So what do we do now? Is the voice clear? Not clear? Can I proceed? Okay, I guess some of the downloads would have stopped, and that would have. Okay. Huh? So the moment you can't hear me, know that I'm almost continuously speaking. Okay. If you can't hear me, then just let me know. Yeah. Where is this guy Sirish? I don't see him in the last two classes. He's not there. Any of his group mates there? Kostab is a even Kostab is not there. Any of the group mates for of Sirish or Kostab there? Okay, so let me proceed. So now, so here is this code which somebody has done, which is very neat. Okay, what he's done is he's reading .csv.sql, all right, and then you straight away just use this command: select star from file where data in these two dates. Okay, and so that takes care of just reading that much data. Okay, right. So how do I share this with you? Let's see. Hopefully, you should be able to. Just see, can you do you think you can click on the link that I have shared with you? Okay, Dipti. Both of them, Kaustab as well as Sirish. I sent you guys a link. How many have been able to open that link? It's a GitHub link. Okay, Sirish has gone. Okay, all right. So, okay, doesn't matter. It's okay. Uh, did you guys coming back to class? I have just sent you a chat link in chat. Are you able to open it? Okay, then are you able to open it? Okay, right? So just look at the line of code there. So what you do is first you need to have SQLDF, all right? And everyone note this piece of code. It's very, very cool as far as just reading the data is concerned, because otherwise it becomes really huge. Yeah, but if you're just reading what is relevant, then the data is much, much, much smaller. Okay, so let's start from file where data is in these two dates, and straight away it's so amazing. Basically how it works is it works as a SQL on a flat file, right? So anyways, so let me move ahead. So once we have read the data, then let us look at the questions that are there for us in the project. Okay, so our overall goal here is to examine how the household energy usage varies over a 2-day period in February 2007, right? So over these 2 days, how in the US this energy usage has varied. Okay, so we got to reconstruct some of the plots that are given below, and we have to construct them exactly the way they are, right? So so you need to fork this particular uh, repository, which is from Roger Peng. Okay, and then for each of the plot, what you need is you need to have a PNG file. Uh, oh, Anmol, you cannot hear me. Okay. Hmm. Is the download complete for all of you, or still some downloads are going on? Are some downloads going on still? My voice is breaking from time to time. Hmm. Sound is cracking. No voice. Ooh. Um. How do we solve this problem? Shall we just quickly try out the team viewer combination? No. Uh, you don't need to install SQLDF, by the way. You just need to uh, uh, capture that library. Please, no need to install that whole MySQL or stuff like that. Is it clear? Yeah. You just need to say whatever package. Basically, that package you need to have. I hope that is what you meant, Chandramouli, when you said I'm installing SQLDF. Yeah. Anyways, uh, so oh, great. So can somebody put on the speakers there in the class? Mm, Somebody has speakers which you can put on. Nobody has. No voice. Hmm, okay. Uh, uh, Dipankar, will you take care of it for every class? Yeah. Just keep them in your bag if they're not too big. Yeah. Uh, what do I do? Is sound available? Not available? Who all can hear me? Uh, so, can I proceed? Okay. Um, no, it'll end up taking another 10-15 minutes. Hopefully the downloads. Can you please tell me who all are still downloading? I mean, if the download is complete, if it is complete for you, please type it out. The download is complete. Not downloading. Who all are not downloading? Just type that out for me. So we'll get an idea that some people are still downloading. And who all are downloading. So everyone answers this for me. So Karthika is not, Dipti is done. Okay. Chandramauli is not downloading. Then who else? Debshri is not. The rest of you downloading, that means Abhishek is already done. Pratik is not done. Not downloading. Not downloading. Not the text file. What text file? The zip file, right? You've already done it. Shachi is done. Sheetal is done. Uh, okay. So Yeah. So who else is not done? That means. So the rest of the people are not yet done. Nandana is done. So Mehul, basically the only thing is I'm not able to figure out from this. Sarvani is done. Uh, Mehul Salman, are you still downloading? Vaibhav, is it still downloading for you? Supreet, is it still downloading for you? Vaibhav, okay, it's still downloading, no? Okay. So looks like 3 or 4 people are still downloading, and that's why maybe it's little on the slower end. Uh, yeah, do that. Supreet is done with downloading. Okay. How much will cost, Salman? Some good quality speakers. So portables would be best. So then you can just pick it up and okay. So can you guys buy it and maybe I can just send you the money? How do we do it? Okay, Web is auto run. So is that fine? Uh, Pick up some speakers, power driven speakers, not these Bluetooth or anything like that. And data table x is equal to r norm. Yeah, so you have a question with that, Pratik? Repeat ABC each 3 times. Z is equal to, yeah, so what is your question? Data table function you're not getting. This will be data dot frame, right? So data dot table, uh, hold on. Uh, Read dot table, data dot frame. Oh, data dot table is there? Wait, hold on. No, no, no. There is data dot frame. Okay. Is it clear? Read dot table. You're reading the table. It goes into a data frame. Is it clear, Pratik? Have I clarified your doubt? Pratik had a doubt. He was putting this command. You have data dot table as well. I guess we might need to have some. Let me just quickly. Data cleaning PDF. Uh, you need to download the project one data. All right. If you go into project one, you will see that on top there is 20 MB data that you need to download. That's what you need to download, Mehul. Uh, uh, Pratik, can we take that question offline because you're talking about some question which is relevant to previous class, right? Pratik, is this okay? Any of the questions you guys have from other classes or anything which is not immediately relevant, it is best that you guys take time and we do it that time, right? Otherwise, overall class time will get consumed in that. Okay, so I will look at this. How to unzip in R? There's a function called unzip. Okay. Uh, this question is how do you unzip the file in R? I think straight away there's a. Let me just show you that piece of code. Project one code. So you can straight away use unzip. All right, unzip and then the file name and whichever directory you want to. Uh, okay. So is this clear? So I'm just typing the command here for you guys. Okay, and whichever directory you want to unzip it to. Fine. So this command will take care of the unzipping part. But for now, what you can do is don't bother about all this. Just unzip it manually. All right. Use the file as it is. Fine. Okay. So all of us have the data file. Let us look at what all is required in the project. Okay. So in the project, so basically, uh, so we need to construct the PNG file and save it. So I save it as a PNG file with pixels 480 by 480. And so we have, I think, four plots, right? So name each of the plots as plot1.png, plot2.png, and so on. And create a separate R code for each of these files. That is plot1.r, plot2.r, and so on. Your code file should include code for reading the data so that the plot can be fully reproduced. All right. So this is important that I want to be able to reproduce this plot fully. Initially, when I executed this project, I just had one file of code. Okay. Once I was done, I was sure. Then I kind of split it up into different files. So what is the task here? These four uh, 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 um, graphs that you see, you need to plot them as they are. All right. So this is the task at hand. Okay. So the first one seems simple. Okay. It looks, it's like it's a histogram that you need to plot. Okay. And so if you look at it, it says, so that's all that is given, nothing else. Okay. So now if you look at it, if you look at this graph, it says global active power in kilowatts, and then the frequency on the y-axis. Now global active power, which one will it, so if you look at the data here, tell me which column will give you global active power. You have the 9 columns, right, of data. So though it's a no-brainer answer as such, but I'm just still asking you just to ensure that you are able to listen to me at the same time you have this at least something open, or you can see my screen. Okay, Dipankar has already answered. I want each one of you answering it, even it is a simple silly question. So which column will give me. Okay, Chandramouli has answered it. Yeah, and check out the unit also. See that is the unit correct. Is the unit correct, or do I need to modify it in any way? So Chandramouli and Dipankar, the rest of you, uh, is there some Sarvani? Fourth one. Uh, uh, Check out Sarvani again. Uh, is your answer correct? Read it properly. So I'm not speaking out the answer so that others don't get a idea. Uh, Sarvani, please check your answer. If you want to change it, let me know what is the next answer. Okay, Salman. Okay, Lavita. Fine. Yes, Sheetal. Yeah, so perfect. So Debashri, which is that column number? Yeah, Tenna. Okay, Debashri. Yes, Vaibhav. Yes, Sharvani. Okay, Shachi. Some of you are still left out. So, so I'm just. So this is what I have. Okay. What about the rest of you? Those of you who have not yet answered it to me. Is it clear? So basically the third column, right? So third column gives me this. So I need to plot the third column on y-axis as a histogram, right? So uh, and then I have to have the color in red, all right? And then I have to ensure that the frequency comes in like this, okay? And now this is data only for 2 days. Sheetal, you can't hear me again. Who? How do we take care of this? Hmm. Rest of you can hear me? No one can hear me. Chandramouli, you can hear me? Okay. Uh, okay. Hmm. Hmm. What do we do about this? So then now once people have the LAN wires, then they will not have a problem, right? Then it'll be super fast anyways. So can everyone have a LAN wire? I mean, can we have enough LAN wires available in our lab? I guess we always had. Okay. So that'll be good then. No? I don't think then there'll be an issue because early in the morning there's no one else who's using the net. So even the whole 50 Mbps that is available, it's not that we dedicate it to ourselves, but it can be such that um, uh, we can pull out data from that as well, not just the 6 Mbps that we have allocated. Sheetal, can you hear me now? How's it? I think the as far as the sound, Adobe uses less bandwidth. That is for sure. Okay, the GoToWebinar uses more bandwidth. Uh, Adobe has this feature wherein I can change the sound quality, but it ensures that everyone gets it. Even a modem person using a simple modem can get the sound quality using Adobe. But so we'll see. Maybe tomorrow we can try that out. Okay, so let me proceed. All right. So now you'll have to take care of these things. Now, similarly, let's look at the plot two. Now, plot two is it says global active power now goes on the y-axis again, so I'm using column number 3. Okay, plus which other column I'm using? So Thursday, Friday, Saturday it says. So I also have date and time, right? So somewhere I'm going to have to use a combination of these two, I guess. All right, or maybe just the date should be enough, hopefully. Okay, but most likely it could be a combination of these two, wherein I'm saying, okay, for the next 48 hours I want to have my data, right? So so both date and time might be required. Okay, so you will need to work on these three columns to get that particular graph for you. Okay, then if you look at the plot 3, now this says energy submetering, and then Thursday, Friday, Saturday. Okay, and then energy submetering. If you look at the stuff here, it says submetering 1, submetering 2, submetering 3, which means again, let's come back to our data here. So there is submetering 1, submetering 2, submetering 3. So I'll be using each of these three. At the same time, I will be using maybe date and time. Okay, and then yeah, so that will take care of probably the third plot. And now the fourth plot is a combination of the previous plots, some of the previous plots. So this is just global active power over Thursday, Friday, Saturday. This is the same plot as the plot number 3. Okay, and then we have date and time plotted against uh, global reactive power, and then the voltage. Yeah, so so this is what the project is all about. Exact ditto we should be able to replicate. Okay, having said this, let me now come to week 1 code. Okay, I'm going to finish this particular lines of code. Once we are done with this, for sure I hope that you will be able to take care of the project on your own. Okay, um, okay, so coming to week 1 code. So so I'm just kind of going to start from the beginning. All right, we have to create these yeah, exactly. So that is the trick. You have to create them exactly the way they are. All right, so that is how it is. The whole exercise is that. Okay, so so let me just, so all of you have week 1 code file downloaded from the Google Drive. Let me just share the link with you. So I have so Lavita's question was, do we have to create the exact same graph? Yes, the answer is you have to create the exact same graph, all the title and everything. So I have resent you the link of the week 1 code file. Make sure that it is open on your machine. I'm going to read it out line by line. If it is open on your machine, please raise your hand. If week 1 code.r file is open on your machine, please raise your hand. Nandana, it's open. Sarvani, remember this is the latest file that I've just sent you the link to. Sachi, Sheetal, yeah, just download it and it, it'll be It's just a 13 KB file, I guess. So you just click on the link and I guess you should be able to open it. Above. Okay. All of you please open it so that we can move ahead with the code. Okay. So Abhishek, Anmol, Chandramauli, Debashri, Dipti, Mehul, you have not yet opened all of these people. Salman, Supreet. So what's the reason? Is it taking time to even download this small file? How's it? Okay, Chandramauli, just raise your hands. If you've opened, just raise your hand in the this thing. That's easier for me, no? I can just see who's done, who's not. Oh, I'm surprised. Debashri says because of the land speed, it's not even. I mean, I guess this is just about 13 KB, right? Is it taking time to even download a file which is that small? Okay. So now I see that only Debashri, Anmol, and Dipti have not yet opened, and Mehul. Others have opened it. Mehul, I guess you are in the room, but have you got the link and are you able to open it? So just please raise your hand. So get into the habit of hand raising becomes easier for me. Okay. All right. Deepti, it's still downloading. Okay. Yeah, please raise your hand in the software. Okay. For Deepti, it is pending. I guess the problem with this is that if you have to raise, yeah, I understand one thing. Maybe if you don't bother about raising hand, then I guess you can collapse it, right? Your go to webinar control panel and becomes really small. Then just a small chat window is open. Otherwise, you have to keep it open and then you can't see my screen fully. Is that so? Is that a limitation that is happening? Is is there a limitation about that? Wherein I guess because on Adobe we were much faster in immediately raising hands. Any of you can give my screen is on the projector, all right. But some of you can you give me feedback about the hand raise feature in this? Is it a little slightly slower? How is it? I mean, I guess Adobe was very quick. I would ask a question and immediately cut, cut, cut. I would get the responses. Uh, this is very comfortable, is it? Okay. So what is the reason? I mean, for example, the hand raising part, I see that it takes time. Uh, so Anmol has not yet been able to download the file. Debashri has not been able to download. Dipti not able to download because I don't see their hands raised. The thing is that see, I can read all the chat stuff that you type, but then in that I'm not able to figure out who's left, who's not. Only in the hand part I can uh, immediately see. For example, even now, Debashri, Dipti hand is not raised. So I assume that they're not able to download the file. Quite a bit changing page in webinar. Okay. So okay. All right. Chalo, we will see how we take care of this issue. Chalo, let me move ahead with the code now. Okay. So I'm just creating this data frame. All right. So basically, it's all random numbers. Okay. Uh, so I'm executing line number uh, 6 to 17. So select it all and just execute it. So once I've done that, so this is what I had already seen. So now what I'm saying I'm plotting a box plot from data. All right. So Devashri says her system shows hand raised. Surprising. I don't see that. I think this is the reason. Many of you raise your hands, but this system seems to be not syncing it. For example, Chandramauli, the hand raise has gone down now and come back. And Devashri, I don't even see the hand raise. So, anyways, so okay. So I've done this. Now what I'm doing is I'm executing line number 20. Okay. So what the point that I want to demonstrate by executing line number 20 is Let me just enlarge this. Okay, so what you see here is on my screen or even on your screen that the x-axis labels are vertical. How did they become vertical? By setting las is equal to 2. If I set las is equal to 0, let's see what happens. Okay, so I'm executing the same command and then it has become horizontal. Is this fine? So if I want to keep vertical um, labels, I will use las is equal to 2. Is this fine? Yeah. Is this clear? So then I move on to the next line of command, which is now what is it doing? I can create a gap. So if I see now, there is no gap between any of the data points. All right. So what I'm saying now is I'm saying I want to create this data. So how many did I have? First of all, let's look at that. I had 1, 2, 3, 4, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 12. All right, so I had 12 data points. So now I'm saying I want these 12 data points such that I have it at position number 1, 2, 3, 4, then 5 I'm missing out. Okay, then 6, 7, 8, 9, then I'm 11, 10 and 11 I'm missing out. Then I'm saying 12, 13, 14, 15. So these are the positions. Okay, so if I execute line number 22, okay, do you see what I get here? I have a gap. Is this clear? So my line number 22, when I'm executing, I create a gap now. It has created a gap by itself. Is this fine? Are you clear till line number 22? What has it done? How can I create the gap in if I need to between the data? Say for example, what I can do now is I can color the first three differently and the next three differently and the other next four differently, right? So it's kind of different areas using the same data frame. That's also possible. So is line number 22 also clear to you? Moving on to the next. All right, so margin we had discussed the other day. Okay, so I'm just what I'm doing is same data, I'm just setting the margin. Okay, so I'm executing line number 27 now. Okay, so by default, before that, let's look at what is my margin. I say margin par. All right, mar, dollar mar. All right, so dollar mar. So my value is 4422. Okay, so instead of that, I'm setting it as 8224. 8 is what? Bottom, right? 8224. Let's see what happens. So I execute this now and let me do command 3. What I'll do is, so this is what is coming up now. I'll make a slight change. I'll set the pair to, so in the same line of code, I set it to 4422. Okay, and then I execute it. Do you notice what has happened? Can you see the shift that is there between the two commands? Can you see the difference? So I execute it with 8822 and everything jumps up, moves up because 8 is what? Bottom, right? So this is the bottom, so it's moving up. Yeah. So I'm lowering your hands. Okay. So this is line number 27. Now what I'm saying is I'm giving colors to boxes. So each one I'm giving a different color. I'm saying red, cyan, and so on. Okay. So I execute line number 29. All right. So as I do this, I see all the colors. Are you guys? Oh, Sheetal. Hmm. Same problem for the rest of you also. Sheetal said she cannot hear me. You can't see the screen, Salman. Oh, is it a net problem again, or is it the software's problem? Go to webinar. You can't hear me, Sarvani. Hmm. Now it has come back. Almol also cannot hear me. It's an internet problem. But I see that the internet problem is specific for certain machines. Like for example, Sheetal is getting it a lot today, and Anmol is getting it. Uh, so is it to do with the where we sit or somehow? I mean, how it gets connected at that point in time? Oh, a lot of you getting this problem. How do we handle this? I guess that was the reason for using the go to basically Adobe Connect, because Adobe Connect, you're playing the sound loud, okay, So, but you can't see the screen, like for example, but screen you can see on the projector, right? Uh, Salman, you said you can't see the screen. Was it on your laptop or on the projector? You're playing it loud on the students seem to be waking up and using the internet in the hostels. Oh, okay. So both on Lappy and the projector. So what do I do? Shall I kind of hmm. Okay. So can I proceed? So so far have you guys been able to follow what all I did? I have executed till line 29. Have you been able to follow it? What I want you to do is look at the thing what I'm changing for each line of code so that you see what the difference is. Okay? And some of the changes I'll make on the fly. For example, what I'll do is so I say okay, red, red. All right. So okay. So let me move ahead. So are you guys in sync with me till line number 29? So how do I add the colors? Call is equal to, so then for each of the columns, if you notice this is the command. I say call is equal to C and then the colors. So now basically just passing a vector of colors. All right. So that's the trick. So I'm passing a vector of colors and for each particular column, there's a separate color that is given to it. Is this fine? Is it clear to you guys? Uh, if you're clear with line number 29, please raise your hand. Chandramauli, Shachi. Rest of you, what about the rest of you? Are you not able to hear me? If you're clear with line number 29, please raise your hand. Okay. Raise your hand, Abhishek, in the software. That will make it easier for me to just immediately visually see who has got it, who has not. Yeah. Mehul, please raise your hand in the software. Oh, then there's some problem with it showing up, I guess. Hmm. Okay. So Vaibhav, Debashri, Dipti, Tena, Lavita, Mehul are the ones. The arrow shows up green color. Bhaiya, would the code give an error if you leave out the color for one or two columns? No, no, no. It will not give you any error. It'll just assume a default color. Let's do this. Uh, Devashri has a good question. So now what I've done is I've given color for each of the columns. Let's knock off the color for the last two columns. Okay. Uh, so I'm not giving any color. Let's see what happens now. Okay. So I have the same command and I execute it. So what has happened is it has taken a default color. Okay, so it just came to red, red. All right, so the first color initially was red, so it just picked up that. Let me change this to blue. All right, and let's see what the last column gets the color as. All right, wait, so I have 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 10, and I have 12 here, right? So the last two get a, and on what basis are they getting a color? But no, it's not giving you an error, that's for sure. Yeah, so for for okay, in fact, what can be done is also this. Let me just copy this. Okay, paste it here. Okay, so instead of color codes, let me just do something else. So how many columns we have? We have 12 columns. Okay, so I'm knocking off the color codes, and all I'm saying is 1 colon 12. All right, so let's see what happens now. Okay, so so what has happened is for each of the numbers, there's a color assigned to it, right? And that color gets captured for each of the particular columns. What if I just say color is equal to 1? Okay. So what happens is each of them get the same color. If I say let's say color 2, all right, so each of them get the same color. If I say 1 comma 2, so what has happened is alternatively the color has changed. Do you see this 1 2? So what will become is 1 2 1 2 1 2 and so on. So if I say 1 2 3, okay, so I have three colors now, again alternating. If I say 1 2 3 4, I have four alternating colors. Is it clear now? Is it more clear to you how the color coding? I have added a new line. Maybe if you, okay, so I'm keeping this line of code here. Maybe if you download the new uh, if you download the new file, is it possible? No, no, let's not disturb the system. We'll slow it down. What I'll do is I will correct. Oh, anyways, there was a space, no, so I can introduce it here. Not a problem. Okay, so now I'm adding labels. So next part is to add labels. All right. So Y lab and X lab are going to do that for me. Okay. So I have the same whole thing. One thing is, so I have the same thing which is with the color. Okay. And let me make it instead of all this long ones. We have already understood this. Let me just make it simple. I say 1 colon 4. Okay. So and then I'm having my locations, and then I'm setting up my margin parameter, all right, 12 5 4 2, and then I'm giving names to the um, uh, so I'm not just setting the labels, I'm also giving names to each of the uh, each of the categories, basically x-axis values. All right, so here it was straight away showing up stat 1 1 stat 1, 2 1 and so. Why so? What is that stat 1 1 stat 2 1? Can you tell me why is it giving me those names? So I want something else to appear there and not stat 1 1 stat 2 1 and so on. Any of you? Why am I getting stat 1 1 stat 2 1 there? What is stat 1 1 stat 1 2 1? Technically, what is that? Are you guys able to hear me? Yeah, data is taken, fine. But this name, the label here is saying stat 1 1, stat 2 2, stat 4 3. What is that? In that name. So, yeah, where did that name come from in the first place? Yes, Salman, data is taken in that name, but where did that name come from in the first place? It came from the data the way it is defined, right? The name of the column is being captured. All right. Whatever was the name of the column is getting captured. No, no, you don't even need you. Yeah, you named your data, and that name of the column is getting captured, right? So we don't need to do anything. It will just, yeah. So yeah, but what I'm saying is by default it is taking it up that way, right? So by default your plot will pick up the name of the column. All right, now what I want to do is I want to change this. I want a label here for y-axis, I want a label for x-axis. At the same time I want my labels for individual categories to change. Yeah, so what I'm doing here is, so I execute line number 32. Okay, so when I execute line number 32, it's a little not very visible, but what you see now is you see oxygen percentage, that is my y-axis label. Then I see something underneath written here, all right, which shows time, but it's not in the correct position, so I can't see it clearly. Give me 1 second. What happened? Oops. The only problem with R is sometimes the different screens, they just, for example, my graph screen just went away somewhere else. Well, this is not an R problem. This is a problem of multiple screens. Okay, right? So some the time is getting written here, so the location is not right. So what I'll do is I'll see if I can change my code. So is this part clear? My x-axis label, y-axis label, and then the individual categories. So what I'm doing is in the next command, I'm modifying the x-axis label using the mtext command. So I'm not passing anything here. Okay, so everything is same. then I just create some distance. I say m text. Let's first I execute line number 36. Okay, so I execute line number 36. So this is what I get. Quite neat. All right. So now I need to have a label for my y-axis. So I don't need to have it in the same command. I can have a separate command. So I'm now saying m text time side is equal to 1. So what is 1? This side is 1. This is 2. This is 3 and this is 4. Is this clear? So side 1 and line is equal to 7. Now what does 7 means? It is the distance from the from where it starts, from the axis where it starts to the bottom. All right. So what? Let me just. So I'm executing line number 38. Okay. Uh, Salman, what is it that you want me to show? Uh, which is slide 1, 2, 3, and 4. Okay. Uh, Let me just do that. Uh, Week 1. I will come to side part. Let me just finish off with Salman's question. I guess no, some of them are the previous ones. So actually, uh, Salman, what I'll do is basically there's nothing but in the lecture slides. These slides are there, right? Not in my handwritten notes. So these are the lecture slides. What I will do is I will mention the file name also, so it'll become easier. Okay, so I kind of my mistake, I didn't do that, but we don't really need to bother about it for now, because we are saying that we'll create it on our own. Each of these lines of command, we are running them ourselves, and we should get some graph there. And if you're not getting it, or we are getting whatever we are getting, we need to understand why we are getting that. Is this okay, Salman? Oops, sorry, misread your question. Side, which is side 1, 2, and 3? Wait. Mm, so this is 1, this is 2. I'll do it and show it to you. Okay, 1 is the bottom. All right, 2 is left, 3 is top, 4 is right. Bottom left, top right. Okay, so in this case side is 1 and I say line is equal to 7. So if I execute this, let's see what happens. So I see time written here. Do you see this? Okay, let me do the same command with side is equal to 4. Let's see what we get. Got it? I have time written here also because this is side 4 now. Is this clear with the part that is side and m text? So it is just adding text. M text command will add text. First value is where you want to add it, second on which side, and third is at what distance. For example, so I'm adding another one which is on side 1 but line is equal to 6. Here line was 7, this is line number 39. Okay, so I'm saying line is equal to 6 now. So I take this up and I hit the command. Do you see I said plot label here, right? Mtext is plot label, side is equal to 1, line is equal to 6. So this, so from there, from the center rather, I'm saying okay, this is level 6, this line is equal to 6, this is line number 7, and so on. Is this fine? So that's how it gets measured, how close or far I want to keep it. So is the side, is the mtext part clear to you guys? For who all it is clear, please type your message in the chat. Okay. So Mehul and Lavita, it's clear? I guess rest of you also it must be clear. Okay. Or rather, let me ask the different question. Whoever it is not clear, just tell me. If it is clear, then anyway I assume that is clear. Okay. In case it is not clear, let me know. So it seems like it's clear to you all. Okay. So then I move on to. I'm just doing a little more of the box and whisker plot for the. So what I'm doing is I have this data, or we can actually skip this. Okay, we'll move on to the next part. We have already kind of covered this. All right. Box and whisker. Do you want me to do it one more time? Box and whisker, or do you think you kind of understand it from the first lecture? Okay, so no one has responded, so I'll just move ahead. So I'm skipping the box and whisker for now. Okay, now horizontal box and whisker plot. Let's say this is my data. All right, so I'm just executing line number 62. Okay, so I've executed line number 62, and then I'm coming and executing line number 76. What is the input for 80? Input for 80 is again a vector, position vector. So where I want to keep it, right? So yeah, it will. So I'm saying at position 1 2 3, if I want to remove the last type, oh, you can't do that, Salman. Yeah, good question. So this is a limitation of uh, 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 base plotting system. Salman's question was, how do I undo the last typed m text? You can't. You have to redo the whole, you have to rerun the whole commands. You can't undo anything here. Okay. Yes, that is what it is. So, so Salman, as we saw, no, the limitation with, remember the first when we were going through our theory, we said one limitation is you can't, give it away. You can't translate it, and the limitation is because the code is not graphical in nature. I can't put out something. I can't undo something once I've done it. So I have to kind of replot the whole graph. Is this question clear to all of you? For example, we did mtext, right? And we wanted to knock it off. Say I wanted to knock off this plot label, let's say. I can't do it. I have to rerun the whole plot. Okay. Now coming to Lavita's question. Uh, Lavita says, does it consider each stat as a column? Hold on. First of all, let us look at our data. So stat is nothing but the name of a column. So I said stat 1 1, stat 2 1, and so on. So each column, the moment, so uh, right. So what the graph will do is, for example, I say box plot, right? And then I say data. Now if data has uh, if your data has uh, uh, that many columns, right? So data frame, right? So it's basically a list in a way. So it will pick up each of the lists and plot it separately. It will not club it all together, right? So it is, so each of the columns is behaving like a list in a way, right? And so your plot will kind of pick it up individually and plot it. Is that, does that answer the question, Lavita? But on the other hand, when I say data, now this is a vector, right? So I say box plot of data, where the data is two ways, right? One is the data is this, which is a data frame, in which case each column will be separately plotted. On the other hand, when I say box plot of data, where data is a vector. So I say data is this C4, 5, 6, 15, and so on. So it's not going to plot 4 separate, 5 separate, 15, and so on. It is going to uh, uh, capture all of this together, summarize it, and plot a box plot out of it. Is it fine? At least the box plot will do this. Have I answered your question, Lavita? So so when I do, when I have this as my data, where the data is 4, 5, 15, 17, and so on, if I say box plot, now what I want to do is horizontal box plot, right? So I say shift enter. Do you see? So I have a horizontal box plot now. So I can plot a horizontal box plot. How? I say horizontal is equal to true. So by default it is false. Okay. And here I'm saying set it to true. Then I'm adding a rug under this. So I say rug data. So what does that do? Do you see these lines here? Can you see the, so I executed line number 78. I executed line number 76 and 78. And I can see that underneath there is these lines. That is the rug. So rug kind of clearly gives you an idea about the data, whereas the box plot kind of summarizes it. Okay. So let me change one thing. Let me change the margins. All right. So I say par. Okay. So, all right. So this will make it more clear now. Is it fine? Till line number 78 it is fine for all of you? Okay, let me come to histograms now. Okay, so that was my data that is there. So I say plot the histogram. So what has happened? Now data had how many points? Let's just look at it. Length of data. It had 11 points. What I see in the histogram? I see only 4 bars. If my input is at c is equal to, okay, let's do this, Lavita. Huh? Uh, I guess, does the negative work? I am not sure the negative value will work, but it might actually, it might end up creating the graph in such a way that, okay, there's one on the left hand side of the 0 point. Okay, I will look at this as we move into some example wherein we can pick it up. In histogram, we can't pick it up. In XY plot, let's pick it up. Okay, so Lavita's question is this. Let me just copy paste it for you. So she's saying if the input is this, what happens? Okay, so I give a negative value basically in the act values, right? We will look at this pending question. Okay, uh, okay. So horizontal is clear to you. Histogram, right? Now, what is the histogram doing? It is by default creating some frequencies, right? So it has created 0 to 10, and then 10 to 20, 20 to 30, 30 to 40, and 40 to 50. All right. And now what I can do is let me plot another histogram where I'm taking 1,000 random variables. So this is my line number 83. Okay. So I execute it. So I have 1,000 values. Therefore, the frequency, if I sum it up, will become 2,000 for each of them. And then the range is this. It is from say -4 to somewhere around +4, right? So this is how the graph goes. Okay. Now, how many breaks are there? Which means how many, uh, what do you say, um, different places are there where it is creating the bin. Okay, so I can change that by using the command called break. First of all, let me do this. Let me say z is equal to this. Now if I say z, right, I'm plotting a histogram, but instead of plotting it, I'm assigning it to a value. All right, and then it's giving me where all the breaks are there. Okay, at -4, -3.5, and so on, and then gives me a lot of information about the data. Okay, so here how many breaks do I have? 13, 14, 15, 16. So I've got 16 breaks in this data. Okay, from 1,000 values. What is a whisker? Okay, I'll come to box plot again in that case, Lavita. Uh, Again, I'm keeping that as an open question. Let me finish off with the histogram and the code as it is flowing. Lavita asked me a question, what's a whisker? So I'm going to answer that question. I'll come back to the box plot and explain it a little one more time. Okay, so um, but just to give you a quick idea, basically, let me just do this. Let me do a box plot of data. Box plot of R norm 1000. All right. So what do I get? So now it is, so 1,000 data points were there. They are summarized. Okay, and they're summarized, and then this part is the whisker. You see the dotted line and then a line at the end. They're like a cat's whiskers, right? So this is, let's say this is the mouth. Okay, let me do it as a horizontal so it'll become more clear. I say horizontal is equal to true, right? So do you see? So they are more like whiskers. What do you see here? The dotted line and this vertical line, then the dotted line and the vertical line. No, they are not the max and the minimum value. We discussed this in the first lecture. There's a mathematical calculation, and then there's a value which is the value which fits in according to the mathematical rule. Just go back to the handwritten notes. I have explained it very clearly there. Okay, and maybe at the end of class I can again spend some time for all of those who didn't understand that. Okay, all right. uh, uh, okay, so coming back to histogram. All right, so once again I'm plotting the histogram. Now this histogram has, as we saw, how many breaks? Maybe 16. All right, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13 is what I see visibly. What I want to do is I want to have 50 breaks. So I set breaks is equal to 50. This is line number 84. Okay. So once I do this, do you see how my data has changed? The data is the same. The frequency has come down, but the number of bins has increased. Is this part clear to you guys? Okay. Now the next thing that I want to do is I want to draw an AB line. Okay. At a vertical line at value of zero point 0.1. Okay. So when I color is red. So I get a at 0.1 I get an AB line here. Is this visible? Are you guys able to see what all I'm doing? So I executed line number 85. Now what I'm doing is interesting. So I'm saying I want horizontal lines all the way from 1 to 30 and the color is green. So I execute line number 86. What happens? So I'm getting all these horizontal lines, 30 horizontal lines. Okay. Then next is I want to create an AB line such that y is equal to ax plus b, we say, right? So y is equal to 0.5x plus 10. So if I was to look at this line, so I'm executing command number 87. Okay. So I get a line here. You see this? So if you notice, it's y is equal to ax plus b. So uh, when x is 0, rather the other way it seems. So so actually it looks like it is working out as x is equal to ay plus b. So when I set so the way it is working is x is equal to ay plus b, right? So I said a is equal to 0.5 and b is equal to 10. So now the value of 10 is happening, or is it, wait, at value of 10 x is equal to 1. Okay. uh, bx a is 0.5. So this is zero point 0.5. The y-intercept is zero point 0.5, that is a, all right, and then b is equal to 10. It doesn't seem to be following the y is equal to ax minus b, is it? That's what it is showing up. Ax, so a is 0.5, 0.5 into x. No, if I set x is equal to 0, then and b is equal to minus 10, uh, at x is equal to 0, my y is zero point 0.5. All right. So a is the value at x is equal to 0, value of y at x is equal to 0. All right. B is the value of y at x is equal to 1. That is what it is showing up. Yeah. So B, so a little slightly different way of defining, I guess. B is the value of y at x is equal to 10. Let's try to change this. All right. So instead of this, let me make it 20. All right. And I hit the command. Exactly. This is what is happening. So this line crosses here, whereas at 1, at x is equal to 1, the value is 20 now. So it is not y is equal to ax plus b. It is that a is for value of x is equal to 0. What is the corresponding value of y? B is for value of x is equal to 1. What is the corresponding value of y? That is what it seems to be. Okay. We may need to go through it in more detail. Somebody can take this up to understand this well, but this is what appears to me. Okay. So line number 87. Now let's do the bar plot. So we had the data. Okay. I'm saying bar plot. So bar plot is straight away just plotting these values. Okay, I had some values, and then I'm saying bar plot for a random number of variables, 100 random variables. So I get like this. Is this fine? Because in the random variables, I say bar plot. So line number 90. Okay, so I'm getting some positive, some negative values. Okay, all right. So okay. So now here I'm reading this data that was there. Okay, I think we've covered this, the all this pollution, or let me just do it again. Okay, uh, let me read this data. So this is the data from the files that were there the first day, right? So we had this data. Let me just read it again. Okay, and so this is my data. I have particular matter, the ID of the. uh, so what is this data? It is the pollution levels capturing data. All right, and there's a. Uh, uh, so let me just do str for the data. All right, I say str pollution. Okay, so I have 5 columns. The particular matter, that is the actual pollution. Then FIPS is the ID for that particular instrument. Okay, and then in which region it is located, east or west, and then the longitude and latitude of the exact location where the instrument is located, all right, or the measuring instrument is located. So that was my pollution data, just repeating what we had done in the class previously. Okay, now all these things we had already gone through. Okay, so I'll not kind of so we looked at the 2D data also, or line number 126, had we looked at this in the class? We had seen this, right? I'm saying I'm splitting the data by region. So X and Y. So Y will be the number of plots that I will get. Okay. But this has to be a factor. Okay. And then X is rather. So is the line number 126 clear to you guys? We've already done this, no? So plotting multiple graphs. Okay. So even this pair values we had done. Okay. Okay. Uh, had we done this? Let me just quickly do it in case we haven't. Okay. So I'm setting the MF value as 2 and I'm plotting 2 graphs. Had we done this? Uh, had we done it or not? Any of you? Line numbers 150, slide number 18. I mean, okay, okay, Lavita, right? So we've gone through all this. I guess even these slides we've gone through. Uh, I'm just very quickly re-executing this. Okay, let's say I have this plot. I'm plotting. What am I plotting? I'm plotting uh, uh, these values. Okay, so X and Y. So in a plot, basically X and Y is there, and then I'm giving them color. All right, let me just give a more readable color. Okay, so what happened is the other graph came down here actually. All right, so let me just rechange it. Let me first say par mf row is equal to c. So now this is the limitation, like say every time you have to reset your values in case you changed it. So I have this, right? So I've plotted the simple plot. Okay, um, now this was to actually explain how by region the color changes. Wait, how come my values didn't change? Par mf row. uh, okay, so this is what, please look at the line number 175. How did it end up plotting this? What is it doing? Look at the line command. It says pollution latitude, then pollution PM25, and then color is equal to pollution dollar region. Is this clear to you how it has plotted it? If it is clear, or rather it is, let me say, if it is not clear, please let me know. Especially you have to understand how come the color is, when do you get the black color and when do you get the red color? On what basis? Is it clear? Are you guys, am I audible? So is this clear how, because of the labels, can you explain it again? All right. Okay. For me to explain that, what I'm doing is I'm just executing the command above this first. Okay. Look at line number 174. So what does it says? It says x-axis values are 1, 2, 3, and 4. Y-axis 10, 12, 13, and 16. Then my colors are 1, 2, 2, 1, which means 1. The first point, that is 1 comma 10, will get the color 1, and the second one will get color 2, and so on. Okay. So if I execute this, what do I have? I have these 4 points. This gets a black color because of 1. This gets a red color because of the second 2. This gets a red color because of the 2, and then this gets a black color because of the 1. Is this clear now? So only 2 colors I was playing around with. Now if I look at pollution dollar region, what is that constituting of? It constitutes of, let's look at it here, pollution dollar region. It constitutes of east west, but this east west is actually a factor, and that's why it's not in double quotes. Because it's a factor, the plot function will actually capture the value corresponding to it. So east will be equivalent to 1 and west will be equivalent to 2. All right. Because of that, my color will become 1 is equal to black, right? So east will show up as black. Any cell which has, so pollution dollar latitude, right? So now, and pollution dollar PM25. Now each of these three columns are associated with each other. For each PM25, there is either a region which is either east or west. Similarly, for each latitude, there is either, it is either east or west. So that combination will give you either the region is east or west. Based on either if it is east or west, the color changes. Is it clear now? How come when I execute this, I get each of these different points having different colors? Because either they are in the east or in the west. And if they are in the east, they get 1. If they are in the west, they get 2 for the color. Is it clear now? So basically, pollution dollar region here actually becomes a huge, let's assume that there are 100 data points. Okay. So it actually ends up having 100 data points, but the value will be say 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, or so on, whichever way it is. Is this clear? Is line number 175 clear to you guys? Especially the color part. Okay. The rest of you also, is it clear? Yeah, Mehul. What's the question that you have? Rest of you guys, is it clear? I'm waiting. Okay, Tana. I understood the color code. East is black and red is for west. No. Why is east black? East is equal to 1. 1 is black. Red is equal to 2. Sorry, west is equal to 2. And 2 is red. And therefore, east ends up becoming black and red and west ends up becoming red. Because it's a factor. In case it was not a factor, you would have had a problem. Yeah. Okay. So, okay, let me move ahead. So I'm drawing an AB line on this. Okay. Where I say line width is 3 and line type is 4. So I got a line, AB line here. All right. So this is color black. Then line width is 3, line type 4. Let me just change it. Let me say, if I reduce this line width, I don't think I'll get a, because it gets superimposed, right? So I get another one here, but let me make it bigger. Let me make it 6. Then hopefully I'll get, right? So is it clear how the line width is making the line thicker or thinner? Okay. And then line type is equal to 4. I can change it. Let's say make it 5. So I get a different kind of a line type. Okay. So above the color is equal to pollution region actually uses a vector of factors. Yeah, we have already explained this. Okay. Now let us look at another example. Let's say I'm plotting a bar plot, right? And I'm giving a color 3, 4, 5, 2, 1 to each of the 5 random variables. Got it? Now this makes it very clear how it works, the color function, the color parameter rather, of any of these functions. So I gave colors as 3, 4, 5, 2, 1. 1 is black, 2 is red, 5 is light blue, 4 is blue, and 3 is green. And that's how I got those colors. So I execute it again because it's a random variable. The color will stay the same, but the values changes because it's a random variable. Is line number 179 also clear to you? Okay. So now the same concept is getting used above there in the pollution dot region. Okay. So now I'm doing multiple scatter plots. Okay. So what is a scatter plot? Basically XY plot. Okay. So initially I'm saying I set the parameters such that I say I want to take one row and two columns. So I want to plot two plots, and then my margins are as mentioned here. Okay. So this is set up. Now what I do is I execute line number 184. So in this, what I'm saying is I'm subsetting the data. Basically, initially we saw that we could just do it straight away in the scatter plot as it was. Now I'm subsetting it. I'm saying get me the subset of pollution data such that the region is equal to west, and then give a plot with latitude and PM25, okay, from this subset, okay, uh, and label it as west region, okay. And then I've created something here with the color. This will create a little crazy graph, and then type is equal to b means both. All right, we will look at these details. So I'm just executing this, see what has happened. What has happened here is, so all these you see dots as well as the lines. Okay, so what is happening, let me just knock off I say instead of b I say p. Okay, so and execute it. So this is what I get. See, p's points. So west region, I have plotted it, and I'm giving different color to each of the different values. So I'm saying 1 to length of PM25. So I'm getting a different color. P's point, right? P means point. So is this part clear? I could have changed the color instead of keeping it all this, uh, fancy color. I could have just said 1 comma, rather just color is equal to 1. All right. So we'd have got all black circles. Is this clear? Hmm? So similarly, then I'm plotting the same thing for the west. So I'm subsetting the west east region, and then I'm saying okay, uh, color is equal to 2 in this case. So I get these two, right? So similar data, but on separate plots now. See, earlier when I had executed the line command, that is 175. 175 was plotting both of these data points. All right, just that the color was separate. So let me just show you this. Okay, I'm re-executing line number 175. You see what has happened? It is actually like a superposition of both those plots, because I'm not separating my data. All data is there, I'm just using color to separate it. Is this clear? How is line number 175 different from line numbers 184 and 186? For who all it is clear or not clear, please let me know. Line numbers 175, how is that different from line number 184 and 186? So I can use different kind of types, right? Multiple scatter plots. So here I'm saying type is equal to H. Let us look at line number 189. Okay. So what I'm H is horizontal line. All right. Therefore, I got a horizontal line for each of these points. Let's change this. Instead of H, let me make it L. Okay. What is happening now? It is like one point to the next. It is connecting at a point. All right. B, we saw B means both. Okay. C, let's see what does C do. C is again lines, but they're not connected. Okay. So there are various such things that are available. Most of the times you will use P, which is for point. All right. Or at max B or L. So P, B, and L is what typically you will use for the type. Okay. So before we end, let's also understand the AB lines well. I mean, this part we are going to end now, and then so now I'm setting the, first let me reset the pair value. All right. So let me say pair mf row is equal to C 1 comma 1. Okay. So now I'm saying AB line such that horizontal one line at H is equal to So first is I'm plotting this. I'm saying plot x-axis minus 2 to 3, y-axis minus 1 to 5. Now type is equal to n. X label is equal to x, y label is equal to y. What does this do? Type is equal to n means it'll not really plot any values on it. It'll just give you the framework. So as I execute this, so there is no values plotted, no data plotted. I get minus 2 to 3 is for x-axis, y-axis is minus 1 to 5. Is this fine? So this is what I do. Now next thing is I want to start drawing something here. So first is I want to draw AB lines. One is at horizontal value of 0, another is vertical line at a value of 0. Okay, and the color is gray. So I do this. What happens? I get two lines. Both of them are 0. Is this fine? Is line number 195 clear to you? Next, what I do is I'm adding a text. What do I want to add as text? I want to add text as AB line at horizontal value of 0. Where do I want it? I say x-axis is equal to 1, y-axis is equal to 0, which means the value will be somewhere here, 1 and 0. Right? So somewhere here it will get written. Is this clear? So now execute line number, and then the color is again gray 60, and then adjacent is C 0.1. That's where it'll start writing, I guess. Let's see. So when I do this, so I have a value starting from uh, 1 comma 0. All right. So this is where it is getting written, and then I have to look at what is the adjacent value, right? So it starts getting written from here. Let me change this and see what happens. Let me make it 1 comma 2. Yeah, right. So what it does is that is the starting point, and then from there it says okay. I think from that center, then it 0 comma x is 0 comma 1 comma 0, right? So this was my point. Starting point was this 1 comma 0, right? So I was drawing a line at 1 comma 0, but with a margin of, so it picks up x-axis as further 1 only, and then y-axis as 2. No, wait, I will have to get back to you for line number 196. Okay, what does the adjacent part do? Okay, for now let's just see that. Okay, fine, I can kind of uh, uh, put a text wherever I want to. Okay, let's just say text adjacent one or two values in which specify the x and optionally y adjustments for the label. On most devices, values outside that interval will also work, or two values in 0 or 1. So it's some kind of an adjustment. Okay, I'll have to go through this in more detail. For now, I'm just removing it. Okay, so I'm not keeping the adjustment, and let's see what we get. So I get something exactly where it was, like say 1, 1 0, right? 1 and 0. So this is where the point is. So it just plotted it in the middle of it. So if I didn't do that adjustment part in the line number 196, what will happen is I said 1 0, right? So 1 is here, 0 is here. So it'll just plot it in such a way that that's the center point of whatever I want to write. Okay, but that's not what I want. I want it to be little above, right? So I say comma adjustment is equal to, so my x-axis adjustment is, so that I want it a little bit on the other side, so I make it 1 comma, and then I want y-axis a little above, right? So I make it 0.4. Let's see what we get. I can't, it has kind of superimposed so many, so I can't, we'll have to redo this whole graph. Let's just quickly do this again. Okay, so now there's my adjustment. Yeah, so this also doesn't, so anyways, I'm skipping this for now. Okay, this is something that I have to get back to. Now again, I'm drawing AB lines. Okay, I'm saying all how many AB lines I want to draw. I'm saying horizontal lines I want to draw all the way from -1 to 5, and vertical lines I want to draw all the way from -2 to 3. Okay, and then line type is 3. So when I execute this, so I get these dotted lines. Is this clear? So I'm getting all the dotted lines uh, by this single command. And then again, I'm saying I'm executing line number 198, where I say A is equal to 1, B is equal to 2, color is equal to 2. Let's see from our previous interpretation, what should I get? At x is equal to 0, A is equal to 1. So this is 1 point. And then at x is equal to 1, B is equal to 2. So I should get a line which goes something like this here. Let's see what happens. Yeah, right. So at x is equal to 1, this is the value. At, wait, so slightly strange. Again, it's a x is equal to 0. I get the interpret as 1. And then x is equal to 1. At x is equal to 1, it is showing up as 3. So again, seems to be, so AB line, I think for AB values, we need to kind of understand it well, what it is doing. Let's just look at it. AB line. AB, the intercept and the slope. Ideally, it should be an intercept and the slope, but how come is it, which equation is working for it now? Any of you can see what equation is working for, which satisfies this condition? So I get 3 and 1, but this is not. So what is the equation of this line? And if you can quickly give me the equation of this line, this is y is equal to ax plus b. X is equal to 0, then a is 1, y is equal to x 2x, is it 2x plus 1, right? So is the line y is equal to 2x plus 1? I think that explains it then. So b is equal to 2. No, what, any of you can figure out what is the equation here from the graph that has been plotted? No, this is not regression line. This is simple slope, because we're just drawing a line, right? So this is not a regression line. It is straight away if you look at the help, right, it says a and b are the intercept and the slope, single values. So ideally a should be the intercept and b should be the slope, right? So which means, so 2x bx plus a. So I think bx plus a explains it, right? uh, bx plus a, yeah, right. So y is equal to bx plus a, right? So slightly strange, it's always ax plus b, but anyways, so finally we cracked it. So it's bx plus a, and that's what gets plotted. Is it clear to you, all of you? Yeah. So okay, so now I'm plotting another text at 1 comma 3. All right, so 1 comma 3 would be somewhere here, 1, and then 3 is somewhere here. And then I'm saying I want to write AB line, and then adjustment is minus 0.1 and minus 0.1. So I get this 1 comma 3. So I don't know how this minus 1 minus 0.1 and minus 0.1 printing it here. Okay, but yeah, so we got a label there. All right, so straight away, again, I'm just, for completeness sake, I'm doing this. Okay, this is there in the slides. So cars data, I'm just plotting it. Okay, so I'm just plotting it using the plot command. With command is just capturing it. So I could have just said plot cars dollar speed to and cars dollar. So now where's this cars data? It's already there in the data sets. All right, that's why I said require data sets. So I get a plot which is again straight away a xy plot. We don't need to bother much about it. Okay, so let us plots. Now this is, do you want to stop here today? uh, Wait, let me just cover it for you quickly, just summarize it. So let us plots. There's one concept that let me teach it for you today. Okay, it's called shingle. Shall we just stop here, or is it okay for you to continue for another 10 minutes? Hello, class. Are you able to hear me? Okay. Okay. So let me just summarize what all we will be doing and what all we've done. Uh, Kartike said continue. Sheetal said stop. I don't know what the class wants. Maybe I should just do a poll. Let's. I'm just trying it out, no, for the sake of trying out a poll on this webinar. Okay. So I've just launched a poll. Poll. Let's see. I don't know how it works. You think you can vote for it? Yeah. Okay. Yeah. I have started a poll. All of you should vote. Yeah, we're stopping here now because the poll says it very clearly. But I'm just waiting for everyone to answer. So 65% of the people have answered it. Okay. So let me just quickly summarize it so that the next class, couple of things are better for us. What is ambiguous, Debashri? Okay, okay, doesn't matter. Maybe you ended up clicking continue. Okay, no, we are stopping the class anyways. Just wanted to check out some of the features. So let me just uh, see what all we. So we have kind of touched upon the project one. It may be a little gray for you now, but uh, box plot. No, you can't box plot. Just 2 points, right? It is not unlike the previous one where you were getting every answer. Here you're getting just two data points. So two data points will not have any upper quartile, lower quartile, right? Yes, scatter. Let me just. So mm, yeah, so 15%, 85%. We can just do a bar graph. I'll need to capture the values. It's like this. So I have to actually kind of almost manually do it. So plot. Uh, see 15 comma 85, and let's see 1 comma 2. There we are. Well, that's yeah. Okay. What happened to the case? The case is going on this month. It'll take some few more dates. Like 10th is the next date, and then I'll get another date. Oh, you can't see my screen? How come? You can see the screen now or not? Quick poll. So is it because of the poll? Okay. So is it that you can't see the screen? Oh. For I guess maybe when the yeah. So when the poll starts, nothing else works. Yeah. So there are some limitations here. I mean, okay. So what we will do in the next class is we will actually get into the project. So what you guys do is you start, getting your hands dirty with the project part. Okay. Uh, so that you will have you'll be using all there that is there in week one code. Okay. So in week one code, uh, lattice you will not need because everything is just the first. Uh, part, and then there is one part which is from so if you execute these lines of command, no, you should be able to do the project, right? So do you want to take it up yourself? It will be very interesting actually. The project one is quite interesting. What I want to suggest is that you start solving the project one. Okay, our next class will be on Thursday, sorry, on Saturday. Okay, and whenever you need some help, week one code will take care of it, hopefully for you. Okay, and so that's it, these two things, right? Uh, so is this fine for all of us? How's it? Do you want to try, give it a try yourself? And the good thing is that we are just in the middle of the week, and ideally this is how we should be proceeding further. Like say you do the project now, and then next class we kind of discuss it, whatever difficulties you end up facing, whatever, and that way you become much better at it. The learning is deeper. Otherwise we end up doing the project just for the sake of completing it. But now that you have enough time, you will be quite, I mean, they are very very interesting. I see that every project that we've had in this course was quite interesting. Okay, so any difficulty you face, what you should do is you send me an email, okay, and call me up once you've spent some time on it yourself. So that way you will get individual time from me as well, right, to understand some concept. Is this fine? Yeah. Huh? So you guys do the project. Week one code is already available to you in every step, and I think this should take care of things. Is this fine? I have already uploaded yesterday's class. The two classes I've uploaded. Today's class also I will upload. Not a problem. Just that it takes a lot of time. Once I have the in data connection, that is 100 mbps, then it'll be much faster. Then I'll have 100 mbps download and 5 mbps upload. So 5 mbps upload will make it faster. Right now the upload is just about 1 mbps. Okay. Yeah, but I have started to do this so that any of you missed the class, you can revisit it, or something you missed in the class, you can revisit it. Lavita, you have some questions. I wanted to answer that. If you want to stay back, or I can we can discuss it some other time. I guess one is the whisker you wanted to understand. We 300 people. And me 100 mbps. Okay, Pratik. So you got to install the packages. uh, India or America हो गया ना? Okay, Deepankar, but we will buy the speakers. So if you want me to pay for that, I'll do that, Salman. You guys decide what speakers you want to buy. Yes, that's what I plan to buy, Bab. What to do? Narendra Modi uses 32 kbps, so I thought I'll do better. Bye, Jai Gurudev Sheetal. But what happened to that university plan? You should be getting that 1 gigabytes and all that stuff. Okay, come. Vaibhav, most welcome. So, what happened to that university thing? Jai Gurudev Supreet, you were to get that under the university plan. Something was to come up, right? And then now what happened to that? Didn't is not materializing yet. Yeah, I know. A new person is looking up. जब तुम लोग पूर्वज बन जाओगे. Oh, and I mean, these oldies sometimes they don't understand the importance of internet speed. I mean, everything is on the net today, and anyways, I will not crib. Okay. Tata, does Tata come to the campus or not? Is Tata available on the campus or not? So we are such done with the class. We're just chit chatting now. Okay.